What's up guys, it's Justin. I hope you're doing well, and if you're new to the channel, you should probably know that this is a channel about side hustling, personal finance, and the gig economy. But what it's kind of turned into, especially over these last couple months, is a DoorDash and food delivery channel. And one of the things I've talked about a lot in all of my videos is tipping. And by talking about tipping, I came to learn that tipping culture is pretty dang crazy. There are some pretty heated people out there that have some pretty strong opinions, and some of those opinions came across as not so nice. So today what I wanted to do was read you the comments from previous tip related videos and let you guys see the kind of things that come across my screen every now and then. And trust me, you're gonna want to stay until the end, because the last comment is probably one of the rudest things I have ever heard. So please go ahead, like this video, subscribe to the channel if you want more side hustle content, and we won't waste any more time. We're gonna dive straight into these things and get to reading your guys' comments. All right, so the very first one, this person not only had a strong opinion about tipping, but also just the food delivery job in general. So I think you should probably see this. They said, if you make a tip mandatory, it is no longer a tip, it's a fee. People already pay delivery fees on every order. What you all want is for people to pay you extra because you think your job is hard. No one tips a bricklayer extra for making sure a wall is straight, and a bricklayer's body is basically ruined after the age of 30. Stop whining and get real jobs. You have to go up 3 flights of stairs, LOL. Oh no. Ha 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 ha. And I gotta say a couple things. First of all, I don't want to discredit anybody else's jobs. I think that all jobs are probably worthy, but just like I chose to be a DoorDash driver, the bricklayer chose to be a bricklayer. So if you want to throw that argument at us, well, we can probably send it right back. And you're right, a bricklayer won't get paid more or tipped for making a good wall, but that's because all of their pay comes in either base pay or some form of salary. Meanwhile, our job, most of our pay relies on tips. It's just like when you go to a restaurant, it's the same concept. So that's why those two things are not the same whatsoever. Here's another pleasant person for you that I'm sure you guys will be super excited to be delivering their food from now on. They said, yeah, I will never tip. I pay what is on the receipt, nothing more. It seems you people are mad at your bosses, and instead of striking over unfair work conditions, you guys resort to attacking the customers. And I want to be clear on this one. I never have at any point tried to attack the customer base in general. For the most part, actually, people are really friendly. They give good tips. I've had very positive experiences with most of the customers. And I think maybe that's because I just don't accept the no tip orders, which means I don't ever deal with that demographic whatsoever. And if you don't want to tip, that is fine. You may deal with the consequences of not getting your food for a very long time, or having it be cold when it arrives, or having your order dropped entirely, but that just is what it is. Everybody has a line that they're either willing to cross or not, and if this person is not willing to cross into the point where they actually tip their driver, then they may just pay the consequences, but maybe they won't, and they'll get their food right away from a driver who's super inexperienced and doesn't know that they can actually decline orders. Guys, you can decline orders. My acceptance rate is like 30%. Go ahead, decline the bad orders, take the good ones, and don't deliver food to people like this, because they should be going to the restaurant and picking it up themselves. Now, I know I'm not the only one that thinks this, and there are other people that have left comments that are even more extreme than my opinions. How about this one? I crush the food and purposely spill drinks. Now, this is talking about no tip orders, and this cracked me up when I saw this come through. The thought of actually destroying somebody's food. For legal reasons, I am not endorsing this activity whatsoever. I'm not telling you that this is a positive thing. Remember, just don't accept the orders that you don't want to take. But when you really think about it and you get the visual of somebody realizing that they've accepted a no tip order and them just absolutely smashing everything in their cart, yeah, this one gave me a laugh. It's pretty funny. And if you want to talk about maybe some more bad behaviors, how about this one? Call me evil/mean if you want, but non/low tip orders do have some, or at least one, use. To be more specific, I will gladly take one of those garbage orders when I'm finished up with my shift. Whether or not it actually makes it to that customer, however, is a different story. Again, I'm not gonna endorse this because that is kind of illegal and you could kind of lose your job over it. But there are some loopholes in the system where sometimes food can be kind of hard to locate, I guess. And free meals, nobody ever complains about free meals. So whenever you have one of those really terrible orders that you've accepted, maybe you didn't accept it on purpose, these friendly ladies and gentlemen have now laid out some paths for how you could possibly handle that situation. I'm not saying that I'm going to handle it that way, but I am saying that you have been given some thoughts to maybe think really hard on. Now, this next one I think was meant to be kind of a hate comment, but honestly, I think it brings up a really good point. They said, tipping is optional legally speaking, but everyone wants to act like it's not. It's very toxic. And I honestly agree with this. Tipping is optional. I'm not telling you that you absolutely have to tip on your orders. I'm not telling you that you have to tip at restaurants. I'm not telling you that you have to tip anything anywhere. I actually think it's really funny and something that's kind of come on in the last couple of years. When you go to a restaurant that you order at the counter and they have one of those little square pads, it's not a typical cash register. They have the square pad and then they spin it around to you for you to fill out the rest of the information. I already know when I see one of those, I'm going to end up tipping at a place that I would not have previously tipped at because it asks you to tip even though you're not receiving the service. And I don't know, maybe it's guilt, but I always tip a little at those places too. But that is optional. That is my choice. And that does not have to be your choice. You can tip absolutely nothing and that is fine. Like I said, you may have to deal with the consequences, but we have to stop telling people that they absolutely have to tip because they don't. They will just probably not get their food. So we don't need to be going out and doing that. Really, we don't have to be so dang rude. People get so fired up in these comments, as you can see. And while some of them, yes, they do make me laugh, others I'm a little bit disappointed in people because I wish everyone would just treat everybody a little bit kinder. But again, that's just my opinion. Take it for what you will. Let's move on because again, we are coming up on one of the craziest comments I have ever seen. And it's prefaced by this one: Uber Eats customers who tip bait are the lowest form of life. Okay. I don't know if I would call them the lowest form of life. I would probably put things like murderers, pedophiles, war criminals, those kinds of guys. They may go below this. Evil dictators, satanic cult leaders, these guys, yeah. That Uber Eats non-tippers may actually be slightly higher than these people. But, again, however you order people in your life, that's fine. I would just caution you to think about what kinds of people are actually out there. Although, this may change your opinion because like I've been telling you, this comment is crazy. When I got this comment, I sat there staring at my phone, kind of baffled that somebody would actually write this. And they kind of got bullied by so many other people in my comments that they ended up deleting it. But luckily, I kept the receipts and I have a screenshot. This person was so bold as to write, "People really are uneducated. On a Friday or Saturday night, I expect eat 45 minutes to 1 hour just for pizza. I expect roughly 30 to 40 minutes on any other night, so waiting an extra 10 to 20 minutes for an order really shouldn't be a problem when you're not getting anybody back. Exactly why I do Uber Eats, so I can remove the tip. Broke boys can't find a real job." Thank you very much, sir. This one was good. For context, I think this was a response to me saying that the people who don't leave a tip are going to have to wait a good amount of time to get their food. And apparently this guy doesn't mind that because all he's going to do is wait until his food is cold and then yank somebody's tip off of their Uber Eats order because that's something that you can do on Uber Eats. That's why I rarely drive. And then encourage us to find real jobs because this obviously is not a real job whatsoever. I think that's why, we totally don't get paid for this because this is just volunteer work. I digress. I don't need to get too aggressive here. But again, if you are one of those people that just is so angry that you have to come into my comments and leave something like that because that's how you truly feel, then fine, thank you. You've actually helped my channel and the algorithm by leaving a comment on this video, which you should also do. You should leave a comment, you should like, you should subscribe, you should do all of that because it does help me out a lot and helps me to feel better after receiving really hurtful comments from guys like this. Seriously though, I do appreciate you guys. Most of the comments that are left on my videos are very positive and they're so uplifting, and I really enjoy reading through all of them. I try to respond to every single comment. So if you want to talk to me, all you gotta do is go down there and type something, literally anything. Tell me your favorite fruit, your favorite color, or something a little more on brand, and I will most certainly respond. So thank you guys so much. I hope you have an amazing rest of your day. And with that, I'll see you soon.